everyone.
Hello.
It's me.
It's me. Why don't you come get on this Facebook Live with me?
That was good. Oh my goodness. Happy day to us. Today is the first day of December. Number one.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
What are the chances that we would encounter the first day of December again?
I know. I
guess 1 in 12.
1 in 12. Or 1 in 365.
Sure.
Sure. Hi guys. Say hi to us. Say hi to us.
Say hi to us.
In the comments, tell us who you are. We want to see your faces.
We want to see your faces.
Let's do an LP Belief Buster card.
Belief Buster time.
Belief Buster it up, buddy. Belief Buster, buddy. So today also marks that we just have a few more chapters to get in for Wisdom Keepers. So there's that. So very excited. All the chapters that have been coming in have been awesome. And those that are remaining, we look forward to seeing yours tonight by midnight. And then I'm also doing a Q&A session tonight with our hypnosis students. So that's going to be really fun because our hypnosis students are the best. All right.
Hi, Marianne. Hi, Kenny.
Hi, Marianne. Hi, Kenny. Yo. Yay. Okay, cool. And Marianne gave us her chapter like a long time ago. Long time. What does it say?
What else could something mean? We've had that.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Eileen.
We've done that one. All right. I'm just going to get. Hi, Eileen.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay.
I don't think we've had that.
Mm-mm.
All right. Belief Buster time.
Belief busting.
Are you doing this, watching this video? Whoa.
Wow, that was really fun. Choreographed. We planned that out, obviously.
What would happen if you did blank? Or what would happen if you could blank? This was part of our outcome model when we used to see hypnotherapy clients.
Yeah.
This was one of the questions we would ask on our intake assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good question.
Yeah.
The words I can't can signal the presence of a limiting belief. In many cases, the person hasn't even imagined doing the thing they've been saying they can't do. This question takes them outside their existing model of reality. I can't do public speaking. I don't have self-confidence. What would happen if you did do public speaking? What would happen if you did have self-confidence? I can't use NLP language patterns because I don't feel comfortable with them. What would happen if you did use them? What happens when they imagine doing what they say they can't?
This is on all levels. This is one of the best, one of the best ways to help somebody come to their own realizations really quickly without you being the one to say, well, but it's fine if you do it this way, or trying to figure out how to solve their problem. We don't want to solve anybody's problem as a hypnotherapist or even necessarily a coach, because that lends an opportunity for the ego to come up and say, yeah, but. And so when we look at limiting beliefs or beliefs in general, we can have somebody who, comes to us and they tend to let you know, like they'll tell you what their belief is. You just have to listen. So when you're listening to someone and they're coming to you and they say something like, yeah, but it might be easier for them, but it's hard for me. Well, is that absolutely true? And so we go down that road of questioning, of saying, is that absolutely true? Or if this could be different for you, what would it be like? Because then the mind starts to imagine what it could be like differently. And then it starts to build in naturally resources for that person to start to take control and see things in a new way, because what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Bam.
Boom, bam. So if they've just been practicing this old limiting belief and just gathering evidence to say this is true and this is why it's true and this is why it might be fine for them but not fine with me, you can start putting in those wedges like we've talked about.
And if you're just getting on this call and you want to hear me sing, rewind to the very beginning.
Ginger.
Ginger.
Hi, beautiful people. Gingy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Ginger. I love this because these are really, really great cards to belief bust. And if you're going to be a hypnotherapist, these are the kinds of tools that are going to make you great.
Yeah.
So what I love about this is that people rewind, Ginger.
Do it again. Sing. Hi, Eileen. Go ahead.
So if you are, yes, since you're going to become a hypnotherapist, this is awesome because most people don't vet their fears very well. Like unless you're already into personal development, when you're working with people who are new to personal development, which is often the case when they become hypnotherapy clients or potential clients, they really don't vet their own fears. So, I mean, I think the card even said so. In many cases, the person hasn't even imagined doing the thing they've said they can't do. So it's like what I'm trying to express here is that if someone says I can't do that, they probably haven't spent much time assessing how they can't do it, why they can't do it, and and that kind of thing. Why? Because that's kind of how fear works most of the time. If we don't address it, we just run from it, and we just avoid it, right? So most people's fears, I mean, they might be based off of something, and I can totally understand that, but that doesn't mean. But most of the time, it doesn't mean that they have worked on them very much, and working on them can help you to realize that there really isn't a whole lot there. There's it's not as big of a deal as you might think it is to be afraid of something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trauma is a really great example. If you had certain types of trauma, if you see trauma, if you had trauma, and then all of a sudden you're out there, and then your trauma is triggered and in a similar situation, but that situation is not the same situation. Well, then the fear is serving its purpose psychologically, but really it's not happening now. So it's kind of unvetted. It's a self-protection mechanism that's not serving you really. Like it's trying to, but it's antiquated because clearly even that you might be triggered, but this is not that same situation that caused the trauma, and it won't be,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I explained that very well.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Oh,
yeah, great job. And Sarah Stewart asked, what is our topic today? We're kind of just flowing into limiting beliefs. What I put up was.
How did you know who that was?
I looked at the Facebook on the Facebook thing because right now it just says Facebook user. Yeah. So if you want us to know who you are, you just have to click the little link that says, "Hey, show us who you are." But yeah, for what I put up for the kind of placeholder for the description was, "I'm the gatekeeper, you the key master."
I'm the
yeah, you do it. Yeah,
I'm the gatekeeper. You the key master. I collect spores, molds, and fungus. Should I have some popcorn? Yes, have some. Yes, have some. Yes, have some. Are you the key master? I'm the gatekeeper. I'm the key master. You the gatekeeper? I didn't think I'd be doing that this morning when I woke up. One of our friends saw the new Ghostbusters movie, so Ghostbusters is on the brain.
I'm sorry. That one always cracks me up when he does that one because it's so funny to me. Oh, that's hilarious. So I did that one. But yes, it's on the brain, but also to, trying to find that thing, it's trying to find that thing to complete you or fix you or change you or make you better or make life better or, it's that ego's pursuit of seek and do not find. Right. And so I was thinking about that this morning. And it's funny because when I think about that scene in Ghostbusters, I don't think about necessarily Rick Moranis saying it. I think about Todd imitating Rick Moranis saying it. And it makes me giggle. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to embellish the impression just a little bit sometimes to make it, put your own spin
over
on
the
it,
top.
make it funny.
Is it the gate? I'm the gatekeeper. Are you the key master?
No.
Or I'm the key master and you're the gatekeeper.
She's the
gatekeeper.
He's the key master.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
A lot of levels. Then that brings my mind into some other things as far as like masculine, feminine roles and all that kind of stuff.
Did you know that all 4 Ghostbusters were certified hypnotherapists?
Wow. That is some factual information I did not have awareness of.
I'm kidding. But they could be.
Yes. At Schaefer Institute of Hypnosis. So one of the things you just like Sarah said, what's our topic today? Right, and then she might have said, or somebody said, hello, happy Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday?
Yep.
Today is Wednesday? I thought it was Tuesday. Oh, girl, I'm doing good today. But anyway, so the topic can change at any moment, as you can tell. But what was really fun to me was that Malcolm Gladwell, who wrote, Outliers and David and Goliath and What the Dog Saw, and he's incredible. He's a fantastic intellectual, thought-provoking.
What is he, like an INTP?
I think so. Yeah, I love the way there was a couple of things that he said that have stuck with me. One is having thought exercises, not being right and not saying it exactly perfectly, and not just taking it because he works in a realm where it's science-based, fact-based information, and they would try to kind of pin him down to factual awareneses. Right. When in actuality, he's like, you know what, we're having a thought exercise here. We're exploring. We are, if you try to pin down to one thought process that says this is the way, then you are essentially limiting yourself to opening up to a bunch of different dynamics to come in, to flow in, to solve different types of world problems. Because if we're not looking at the bigger picture or looking at the dynamics within a situation, they're all causing, having this cause and effect on each other. So it's like the tipping point and, that moment when, the world kind of decides this is what's happening, but there's a moment where that happens, and he had explored that. And I think without the ability to have thought exercises and just go, wow, that seems to have an effect and on this particular situation, this seems to cause this particular effect. And the other thing that I liked about and what I like about him and his approach to things was that he does a New York Times every year. He does he was a journalist for New York Times. So I believe that's right. And so every time he would go every year, they would invite him to come and do a talk at their kind of symposium that they do. And he would submit his proposal to speak with a title. And he would come every year with a different speech. He would not actually speak about the thing that was titled on his billing for that particular talk. And I always thought that was kind of interesting because he's like, well, I don't know. It was a year ago that I put this together and I sent this to them. And there's a lot that happens in a year. And I'm not super willing to commit to this particular idea for a whole year. And I'm like, That's awesome. And so sometimes our topics stay on topic and sometimes they don't stay on topic, and sometimes and that's why we do it as an unscripted thing and just allow that holy instant to kind of move through and decide.
Yeah, you can't really go by what's written on the thing, because we allow ourselves to kind of be spirit-led, and we do change topics a lot, and then the first 20 minutes is kind of a let's settle in. Yeah. And then the last 30 plus minutes is usually when there's a lot of amazing stuff that comes out. And I know the people who routinely show up and watch can attest to that. Yeah. That the coolest stuff really happens towards the end. We
get our vocal cords moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I felt we did a lot of good stuff at the beginning of this.
Well, it's still great. It's still fun. I think it's just more fun and maybe less substantive, but both are wonderful. I mean, it's kind of like, let's have appetizers first and then we'll move on to the main course, but I suppose we could practice coming out guns hot if you want to.
Apps and zerts.
Which I think is what you're doing today with these Belief Buster cards. These are really, really good cards.
They are really good cards.
They're making me feel better about me.
Let's see if I can pick a card yet. Done yet. Oh, how have you been perceiving this as blank until now? How have you been perceiving this? This question subtly reframes problems, issues, and limiting beliefs. It's that if I don't control people, then things won't turn out right. How have you been perceiving this as a problem until now? This has several effects. It paces their experience. It reframes the limitation as perception, and the time, language, and until now presuppose the possibility this has already changed. I can't use NLP language patterns because I don't feel comfortable with them. How have you been perceiving this as limiting you until now? What can you presuppose in your questions and statements that will empower your listener? I like that one. How have you been perceiving this as a limitation until now? So when you go through, you can create your own limiting beliefs inventory. It's like, well, this is how I've seen this. This is how I've done this. Mm-hmm. This is what I believe. And all you got to do is take any topic and just write down what you believe about that topic, and then flip each one on its head. And you will find that there are plenty of places to heal that perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the homework exercises we used to give clients, was just to write down, they would come in with a challenge. It's like, write down all the fears associated, put a line down the middle of the page, write down all fears associated with the thing that comes up for you. Give yourself 20 minutes if you need to, and just exhaust your mind's lists, and write down all the fears associated with it. Because once you hit one, you're gonna find more fear threads, because that's how it works. And then it's gonna go. You're gonna have, and they might be similar and overlapping. Doesn't matter. You just follow that flow. And then once you feel like you've got it all out, then at the same time or soon after, you like she said, you just flip them on its head. You just write down the opposite. I can't do this. Well, I can do this. I can't public speak. I'm afraid of public speaking. I can public speak. I'm not afraid of it. And I know you're not going to believe it because you just wrote down what you're afraid of. But by deliberately flipping the script and writing down the opposite or a constructive version of what that is, you are doing work on yourself. You're reprogramming yourself. You're doing NLP on yourself. So you may not eliminate the fears immediately, but you are introducing something brand new to your psychology. And if you keep playing with that or keep affirming those positive things, you will start to generate positive momentum in that direction. And that is empowering, and that is stepping out of victimhood, and that is exercising your choice.
Yep. How can I see this differently? How have I been seeing? Have I been seeing it? How can I see it differently? And then start to make a effort toward, or move in a direction toward, opening up your mind to the different possibilities that are out there. The other thing that I do is I'll say, One is this absolutely true? And is this absolutely true for everyone? And that answer is almost always no. So because not everybody has the same fears or concerns, they might have other fears or concerns. But if I can model someone who doesn't have that concern, then or fear or worry or doubt or self-doubt, then I can essentially step into their shoes anytime that I'm in that situation. And that's a little bit more advanced NLP, but it's relatively, if you logic it out and you just think it through, literally putting that person or that situation, that person that you're wanting to model, all of the qualities that you love about them and all of the things that they can do that you've been struggling with, and just literally with your physical body move into that space and feel their feelings, feel how confident they are, feel and get a sense of that ability that they have to easily speak or easily move through difficult transitions or whatever it might be, or communicate well, and just feel how that feels. And then the brain starts to create new neural pathways that will help you to have more, create a more resourceful state in those situations where you feel uncomfortable.
Right. And remember, your subconscious mind records everything. So you know things that you don't even know that you know, because you've recorded, because you have recorded them, and you'll find out. Your mind sends you these things a lot of times, synchronicities and whatnot. But so what am I saying? If you want to model someone, a really simple way to do that, to change your state, would be to walk like that person walks, or, don't do anything strenuous, but, change your pace. If you feel like crap, well, then notice how you might be walking if you feel poorly, and then change how you start walking, for example, how you would when you feel great, and your subconscious will start to, because it records everything, it'll start to wire and fire based on what it thinks you're doing, so you may start to feel better because you're changing, like you said, you're getting into the feeling of it. You're changing your state. Remember the Superman pose from other episodes? Right. So there is a lot more that your mind knows how to do than what you're currently doing. And you have a lot more resources than you think you do to change your state. So another way to look at this is, you're not just those beliefs that you're firing off on a moment by moment basis. You're not just those fears. In fact, those fears aren't you. They're just a representation of the past, and they can be changed. And these are some tools, like these awesome salad cards, help move us in that direction. And we start to realize, wow, this is empowering. And I can ask myself these questions at any given time. Hell, I can write down these questions and refer to them on a list anytime I feel discomfort at all, to start changing, wiring and firing myself into a different direction, a better direction, a more empowering direction, one that feels more constructive and powerful and out of victimhood and into choice. And as you start doing that more and more, you realize, wow, I am not subject to my past conditioning at all. And why the hell have I been putting up with that? I can choose differently at any given moment. And it can have a small impact right now, or it can have a large impact. Who knows? I mean, that's the beauty of it. I get to play around with it and see what happens, but I certainly don't have to settle for feeling bad. These are the kinds of tools that you can start to understand and have and garner as a certified hypnotherapist.
There you go. Bring it around.
And that's true.
And it is very, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Marianne says, the conversation goes where it's supposed to be. You got that right, girlfriend. All right.
Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamn right. Shawshank.
Anyone? Shawshank? I'm the keymaster. He's the gatekeeper. I think we should title all of our.
I don't think he was in Shawshank.
No, he wasn't in Shawshank. Rick Moranis wasn't. Hi, let's talk.
Whoa.
Hey.
Hey, Liz.
Hi.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome to the show.
Liz, if you want to hear me sing, rewind to the beginning. We're having fun today.
We are having some fun. All right, so I think we should title all of our things with random quotes from movies that we
or we could wait till the end and find out what the general theme is and then put that on the description. So it's a little bit more indicative of what we ended up doing because it's unscripted. I don't know. It's just a thought, maybe.
So we're talking limiting beliefs today. Ginger, sing.
Sing.
Do it. Woohoo! Sing. Yes, singing Todd.
Yes, singing Todd.
All right, let's do another one and see if it's good. All right. That one's a lot.
Hello, it's me. Why don't you come and join this Facebook Live with me?
There we go. How would you know if that wasn't true? Let's play with this one. How would you know if that wasn't true? Beliefs or ideas? This question gently challenges limiting beliefs because the person starts imagining a new belief idea in order to answer it. If I don't control people, then things won't turn out right. How would you know if that wasn't true? I can't do public speaking. I don't have self-confidence. How would you know if that wasn't true? I can't use NLP language patterns because I don't feel comfortable with them. How would you know if that weren't true? I'd feel excited about experimenting with them. And where would you feel that excitement now? What happens when they imagine doubting this belief? Sleight of mouth pattern reality strategy. So how would you know if that wasn't true? How would you know if that wasn't true? That one is such a challenge. To me, it's a little bit, my brain goes, and that's the point of it, to make their brain kind of go, what? Wait, what? But it is true, but it's not true. But is it true? But what if it weren't true? I'm confused. And so when you have that moment of confusion, it's actually a very resourceful place because then you can start adding in some good resourceful information. So I'd feel excited about experimenting. I'd feel excited about doing them if that weren't true. I'd feel excited about that experience or that particular situation if that thing weren't true. But you can also say, so if that weren't true, what would it be like? And what would that feel like? And how would you know that were happening differently or that was happening differently? And then that causes their mind to start using their imagination. And because the mind will create your reality, the mind creates our reality in many different ways and brings in that resourceful state, it'll become much easier for that person to pop out of those limiting beliefs that have been causing them to struggle.
Some of the most powerful things about these hypnotherapy-based questions are that they automatically get someone into a resourceful state. They challenge that limiting belief and ask them to get into a resourceful state. Yeah. And it's so powerful, and confusion is the
it's the bread and butter, baby.
It's the beginning. It's that mind turning directions and redirecting to a resourceful place, and new things start wiring and firing right there in that moment, and they can start to feel empowered as they put logs on that fire of that resourcefulness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, Abraham talks about how if you've got a train moving in one direction really fast, and you don't want to slam the brakes on that train necessarily, you'll hurt the contents of the train. Instead, you want to have kind of an opposite energy pulling the other direction. Usually at the same rate, so that everybody is kind of moving gently in a new place. This is one of those things, and when we challenge these limited beliefs, we are essentially causing a train to slow down in that other direction. But that confusion moment is that really nice opening opportunity, and so it can be really fun to
totally
explore.
Fun.
It's just exploring. It's just information gathering. That was something I needed to learn early on, which was you're just gathering information. That's all we're doing.
And you're not the sum total of your past beliefs and experiences.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, you could argue that you are, but
You're
no,
so much more than
no,
that.
you're more than that. That's just a recording of where you've been. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
You know, who you are is much bigger and broader. And I think people who are spiritually inclined or kind of embrace that spirituality and like things, believe that they are more than just their past. In fact, they've overcome their past to a large degree and have leveraged any kind of past or wounds that they may have had and turn them into their initiation to do the work that they're currently doing, perhaps as a holistic practitioner, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Really powerful stuff. Self-empowering. A lot of people, heck, a lot of the people who watch our videos have made those types of choices for themselves and are living deliberately and assertively and constructively. And that is very powerful. So kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah, good job. So, Marianne says, Adele, you ain't. Very well.
True that.
True that.
Keeping it real.
Oh, Gingy. Oh, made my day. Yay. Smiley faces. All right, good. Okay, so what's next? This good?
Well, we could do another card. We could do more impressions. We could take requests.
Requests?
We could do,
singing requests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love these cards.
Yeah, pretty great.
I think it's great, especially to start like early on with them if you really want to
get the mind moving.
Get things rolling.
Oh, this is a good one. This one is a great one, actually. I'll just do this one with you guys while you're on here. Because this is also another challenge. And here it is. Here's the challenge. So when you get to how to find out where some things might be limiting you, right? One of the ways, we mentioned a few things, just, fears that come up, beliefs that you currently hold about certain things or situations or people or whatever, writing down that list. Another one that you can do to call up what might be coming up for you personally, and my own limiting beliefs about myself, is to say to yourself, I am perfect exactly the way that I am. I am perfect exactly the way that I am. And then let that information, whatever that might be, come up. What is that stuff? Because if I say, and as much as I've worked on myself and done the stuff, I can find something. I can find something. I can pick at myself about something. So whatever that thing is that comes up for you, write a list, and just say thank you. Just say thank you to that thing, whatever it is, wherever that's come from. We're not judging it, and we're not trying to wrestle it to the ground. We're not telling it it's wrong. We're not putting gold glitter over it. We're not affirmationing it to death. We're just accepting it where it is. That's where we start. Okay. So we say, okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And then again, say, I'm perfect exactly the way that I am. Whatever that thing is. Perfect exactly the way that I am. Perfect exactly the way that I am. And just write it all down. Write it all down. This is not meant to make you berate yourself or belittle you or any of that kind of stuff. Its intention is to help you to
not engage in the fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just driving along, having a happy day, and then that inner critic comes up out of nowhere and it just says, hello, it's me. And you're like, whoa, no. And yes, so what she's saying, totally embrace it, allow it to be there, breathe through it, write it down, breathe through it, allow it, right? Breathe or write it down, allow it, but don't fight it.
No.
Don't fight it. Fight it. If you fight it, you strengthen it. You strengthen the inner critic. And we don't want that. We want to allow it to be there. When you write it down and then flip it, like we were talking about, or you breathe through it, allowing it to be felt, but not but not fighting against, you are flushing it out of your system, right? That's an integration process. So it's super powerful. Good to maybe start with writing it down. And if you feel like you can breathe on it without fighting it and just let it be and let it pass in a matter of minutes or whatever, then you are in an integration process. And I found that it always passes, even if it's strong. If I'm doing some good breathing on something and I'm not fighting against it, usually it'll go, even if it's strong, we're talking 20 minutes tops, maybe if it's really, really bad, 40 minutes. But that's nothing compared to if you fight against it and let it ruin your day or your week.
Yeah. You know? Days and days of ruminating. Yeah.
Most things will pass in a matter of minutes with breathing or de-escalate, as long as you're not fighting against them mentally. And that's what that critic wants. It wants you to, is it blurry? It wants you to fight. It wants you to take up arms, take up that sword and shield. But we don't want to do that. We want to put down the sword and shield, and allow that inner critic to be seen and embraced and breathed through, I guess, but not fought. Right? That's just judging.
We gotta let it. We if we don't have awareness of it, then it will control our automatic thoughts, actions, deeds, and things like that. So if we don't have any awareness of it, it's still working in the background. So we want to get a firm handle on it, a firm grasp of it, so that we can then say, okay, this is what I've been believing about myself. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Now, the other thing that happens, what I've noticed has happened with me, is that I'll say, I'm perfectly exactly the way that I am. That thing comes up, and then it'll escalate because I'm not giving it any attention. I'm saying, thank you. I'm writing it down or whatever I might be doing with it. Thank you. And then it starts to get into like really old, scary stuff. And, if anyone ever found out about this thing, Kira, you would be dead and with your head on a spike, right? I don't know where that came from, but maybe in a past life. But just, whatever it is. But what I found out was that once it got to a lie, because I was no longer engaging in it, this is that next step here. So once I stopped engaging in it altogether, just thank you, no charge on it whatsoever. That very last thing that it came up with, I was like, gotcha. Now I know the difference between me and my ego. I gotcha. Because that is impossible. I would never do that. I have never done that. I will never, ever experience that in my life. I do not have people around me like that. And then it became like this aha moment, because I was like, I can know who you are anytime something comes up for me. I know I can be that observer and say, that's not me. That's not me. Once you have a clear understanding of what is really you and what is the ego, you create an understanding that helps you to get closer to the peace that you're seeking.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say incestuousness. That's not quite right. The insidiousness.
All right, I know words. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says I know words.
The insidiousness of the ego is that when it brings up something, it always wants to project guilt. So if it brings up something that you have attached to from your past that feels exceptionally guilty or traumatic, or it took an event and you created shame out of it with your ego, then it's really tempting. It's really seductive to not feel that guilt and shame when it comes up, and two, to not believe that is you when it comes up, because it feels so intimately tied to what you experienced or who you think you are, or that kind of thing. But it's not you. The guilt and that shame is not you. It's just something that you experience. It's just a role that you played for a short time. And either maybe you healed it, or did some work on it, or swept it under the rug, or made it a part of your identity. And but regardless of that, I mean, the mind all by itself is going to try to protect us from experiencing anything uncomfortable.
For sure.
But as we've been discussing, it can be limiting, and there are ways to get around those limitations.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think someone's calling me. Oh,
And
great.
Your headset's turned on.
Tucson. Tucson's calling. Hi, Tucson.
Tucson calling.
Tucson calling. I don't know who that was. Anyway, let's see. So, yes. And these are all things you can learn at Schaefer Institute of Hypnosis.
You got
Ding.
it. Is there anything you want to say about enrollment ending or new enrollment starting?
New enrollment ends today. So,
No,
I'm sorry.
New enrollment does not end today.
I'm sorry. New enrollment, old enrollment ends today. Enrollment ends today. New enrollment will begin tomorrow.
Fall enrollment ends today,
Thank
December
you.
1st. And then what's the next one? Winter?
Yeah, winter.
Winter enrollment begins tomorrow?
Yeah.
And what's the difference for people? Like, just so they know.
Oh, it means that you can't take the December 10th class. You'll have to take the January class.
Is there any incentive for people if they want to maybe
If they want to
today?
Yeah, if they want to
fall enrollment
start
closes?
their year, if they want to start their year as a clinical hypnotherapist, yeah, that would be how they can get started. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's out at hypnotherapyschool.net, and you had pulled that up. Let's go ahead and
If you want to copy the link, it's there.
Yep, copy. And we are also posting this out there on our student Facebook group. We have a pretty cool Facebook group out there. So hi, guys. Hi, students. Hope you're doing good.
Hi, students.
Learning good. And so the course is actually very self-paced, and you can go at your own flow. You get to come to any future trainings for free. So if you miss this class or whatever, it's okay. You can come to the future classes. We want to make sure that you get the education that you need. We revamped the whole school because we wanted to, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic are two different times, two different sets of realities in
Two
many
different
ways.
economies.
Two different economies. Like there is just a whole different set of rules, doing a lot more Zooms for treatments to make sure everybody stays safe. At the same time, you can certainly see people in your clinic if you have a clinic or you're wanting to see people or treat people in person. You can also do virtual offices and things like that.
Yeah, that's a huge benefit. You can do hypnosis over Zoom with people. You can have a hypnotherapy clinic, as it were, completely over Zoom, seeing clients,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for the pandemic, people probably would not have found that functionality as useful as they do now. So that's positive.
The world is now more online than it ever has been. And if you before the pandemic, if you had a job or an income or a business that was online friendly, then you're probably in a much better
place afterwards
now than some people may have been exposed to. But the great thing is about hypnotherapy is that it can be done online, it can be done in person. And we give you all the tools you need to start your hypnotherapy practice, business, marketing training, to start it all from scratch so that you know exactly what you need to do. It's not just a certification like most schools offer. It is also business marketing training, so you know exactly what to do from scratch to get clients.
Ginger says, what if you have trouble being hypnotized?
I bet you I can hypnotize you.
Boom, shakalaka.
I've seen 2,000 people one-on-one, so has she, and we've hypnotized
4,000 total.
We hypnotized 4,000 of them, all of them.
I've never had a problem hypnotizing anyone.
Yeah.
It's everybody's hypnotizable, just not in the same way. Control is so. She just says, I have control issues. So there is a way to work with your mind, because, honey, you are an amazing psychic. You are somebody who can do readings. You just flow out information. What do you have to do in order to access that? You actually go into a state of hypnosis. Now, you are in control of that. And here's the deal. When we worked with clients, we would say, you are in control of this. This is something that is natural. It's actually a natural state that we experience every day. Hypnosis is not sleep like you sleep at night. Hypnosis is accessing those parts of your brain in different brainwave states so that you become more resourceful. So that's the difference between, I think that control issues thing, that comes to maybe like stage hypnosis, which is not the same as clinical hypnosis. So I'm glad you mentioned that. That's
not the same as hypnotherapy either.
Yeah, that's a good thing to differentiate.
Yeah, my favorite thing when we used to see clients for hypnotherapy before we became a school was when I used to work with clients, I used to love hypnotizing the skeptics.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, and really what it was is that, yeah, it doesn't matter if you have control issues or anything like that. That doesn't impact hypnosis. Really, what it is most often people don't understand what hypnotherapy is and what being suggestible is. And as soon as you do some suggestibility tests on people, they'll find out, oh my gosh, I'm suggestible. Yeah, everyone is. Yeah, and it's just a matter of what's most effective way to do hypnotherapy with them. So yeah, it works across the board. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Let's see. Kenny goes, oh, well, oh yeah, well, you are getting sleepy. Oh yeah. That's hilarious. Sorry. Had to do it. Jen G says, that is interesting. Trust is also an issue. I don't let people see me. You know what? Thank you for the compliment, she says. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you are it. I'm only complimenting the truth. Eileen, Kenny, hilarious. Everybody's going to be such good hilarious. Friends. He is hilarious.
He is a hilarious man.
Yes. So this is great. That should be addressed when you're going to work with someone. If you are if you're doing if somebody's doing stage hypnosis, you probably wouldn't be a good subject for that. But if you're going to someone to have them help you resolve an issue, those first moments with them should tell you whether it's okay to trust them. And it's a safe environment and a healthy environment for you to be in. If you walk in and you feel off, it's not about you wanting to hide from your situation or hide from the person. No. It just might be that there's something off. Trust that.
Yes,
trust that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ginger, if you are wanting to see a hypnotherapist, hypothetically, then you would probably do an intake of some sort with each of those hypnotherapists, and you would get a feeling as to whether it feels like a fit. Yeah. If it feels like a fit, that's your mind telling you that you trust yourself to move to the next steps.
Yeah.
And a good hypnotherapist should have a good intake assessment. Mm-hmm. If you are considering becoming a hypnotherapist, which we highly recommend, then we would give you the training to conduct a proper intake assessment so you can identify which clients you should be taking on, potential clients, and which potential clients you should not be taking on.
Right.
Generally, that the should nots is generally going to be few. It's mostly about doing that intake assessment properly so that you can get the types of answers from the client openly and honestly with the right questions so that you're getting the information you need to find out that client's level of readiness. Yeah. And they're going to have some clue as to what their level of readiness is by their openness or their general openness or their general resistance. And if they're coming to you, hopefully there's some openness with wanting to solve something. And the rest is about you garnering the right insights from from what they're telling you, so that you can trust as a hypnotherapist that you are in the right space with the right client and that it is appropriate to move forward with them.
Right. No. Gingy. If I did it, would it be with either one of you? No. We only teach.
No, if I did, it would be either one
Oh.
of you.
Would maybe I don't know what that means.
Well,
If I did it, would be
If
either one of you.
yeah. So she could be saying hypnotherapy or hypnotherapy school, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, we don't do hypnotherapy, but
Meaning,
she says, wait for it.
wait for it.
Type in.
Type in.
She chopping broccoli. Meaning.
I would only go to you for hypnotherapy.
And this is where we say,
No.
we don't offer hypnotherapy.
Now, hold on.
But-
you know what? I'm going to message you
But
because I need something from
do.
you. I would like very much to have something from you, Ginger.
The general answer is we don't do hypnotherapy ourselves, but on our website, go to our blog, Hypnotherapist Spotlight, and there's a bunch of hypnotherapists that we recommend who do see clients.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our general answer. But Kira's going to contact you apparently
For something that I'm not
for
saying.
something. Maybe it's a Secret Santa.
Will you be my Secret Santa, Ginger?
Ginger would be a fantastic.
She would be a great
Yeah.
Secret Santa.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Maybe we could do what is it called? A white elephant
Yeah.
gift exchange with our regular viewers. It would be an emoji gift exchange.
Yes. What emoji does Ginger give to Kenny? And what emoji does Eileen give to Marianne? And
The
that's y'all.
possibilities are
That's all
endless.
4 of you.
The possibilities are endless.
Oh, well. How do you feel?
I'm ready to wrap it up. If
You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Wrap it up. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
We
you for your
appreciate
participation.
you. Yes. Thank you for participating, for having fun with us, for releasing your limiting beliefs. We're going to presuppose that because you heard it. So since you heard it, since you're here, all of those limiting beliefs are starting to go away.
And hopefully you're writing down the questions from these cards and using them for yourself whenever you want to release one of those limiting beliefs head on.
Yeah. Get on it. All right, guys. And also to know that any limiting belief that you have is completely lovable. It came from somewhere and it's okay to go back to from whence it came, but know that you're lovable even if you've been acting out any of those limiting beliefs in your life. That is totally okay.
And letting yourself feel them and breathe through them without fighting them is practicing unconditional love.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.